What we have here is the picture of the Shaar Hakavanot. This is the sefer that's recently produced with the Pirush of the Tiva Hakavanot. So here we are. We have this book. This is the DRUSHOT. That's what we're learning right now. So this is Baruch Fleischman, and you're listening to the Tikkun Elevator Kollel. And if you're able to follow these shiurim, God bless you. So here we go. We're going to be on page. We're going to start over. We started a little bit yesterday on trying to understand this concept here. He says, and because there's going to be a little bit of a richus that he wants to go through. The Yichud of nighttime gorem tikkun v'konenes kli ha'yisod the nukva. So apparently the tikkun of the kli is really important here. Tzark ladas the yeshnam shnei inyanim v'tikkunim shonim. There's two different things we need to talk about. Asher shneichem b'chunechem b'harbech b'bekom b'shem b'siyas v'tikkun kli ha'yisod the nuk. That both of them are called this. Avach b'hem shnei devarim nifranim. But they're really two separate things altogether. Aleph, echad, one of them, is tikkun kli yisod, is to be misaking the kli of the yisod to prepare it so they can be makabel the shefa that's coming from up above. And understand that the shefa that's coming from up above is coming from all the way up above, and so therefore there's a lot of it. That I guess that's the reason why you need a tikkun. So he says shalanuk, and we're talking about the nuk here. So this doesn't come through a relationship with Zer Anpin, but it comes only through Ima. Let me see if I can get this stabilized. Okay, that's the first one. I'll see if we can get better. There we go. So he's a number base. That's one thing, is to prepare the Kli. Hamshachas ha'aruchum yisod the zer anpin the yisod the nuk, which is the beginning of the process. This is a rucha, so it doesn't say the tipa, which is more physical. I think, or more developed. So, I'm not sure, but here is a rucha that comes in. Anuk hanaasis be'esa zivug the bia rishona, which takes place at the time of the Yichud of the first bia. Came before B'divrei Rav. This is what the Rav says of it, which are two separate things. So we'll sound like the one is from the side of the male, one side of the side of the female, it seems. So now he says he's want to point this out, specify this. You can get confused which one he's talking about. One time he's talking about one part of the tikkun. So he echad v'tekef la'acharav medaber be'inyan tikkun hasheni b'kol l'shnechem tikkun kli yisod the nuk. So understand that this is all part of the tikkun. Give me 1 second here to get another book under this, so that I'm not reading on an angle. Okay, so now this is where we left off yesterday. And he says like this, Ubir Sheni, there's a second explanation, Ubir Shnei in Yanim Eila Bekitzahu, the Yeshtara Kli Shala Yisod, you have this Kli of Yisod, Uhu Nisaken Bekoach Hamisha Gevuros and Nimshachem Alanuk, and where does the Yisod come from? It comes from the 5 Gevuros, it is built out of them. So therefore you have something different, which is the aspect of a rucha, is placed in the kli of the yisod. So this is explained greatly in other places. So he's going on. He said, "Behine, b'divrei Arav kam yesh l'chore iru parshios b'mixas." There's a little bit of switch of intermingling here. The maskil l'daver be'inyan the zivug the abba ve'ibach of the zona and the asa b'laylo. So he starts talking about, that's what we're talking about, the yichud the abba ve'ima that takes place as a result of saying the Kriya Shema, but the zun, and also of zun hana asa b'laylo, which is made at nighttime. 1 second here. Which is made at nighttime. A little mess here. 1 second. Okay. Hana Asaf Alayla. Shohu Hatikun to be a Rishona. So this is also the Tikun to be a Rishona. Shabot Nitan this is when this rucha comes from Zer Anpin and goes into the nook, which is a kli that was built out of the 5 gevuros. So he said, then after that, over Levayer as Tikkun Kli Yisod. Now wants to talk about what's happening in the Kli of Yisod that's going to be Mesukin. Tanasa Yedeh Ima, which is done by the hands of even. He said before that the Rechem, Rechem is a word for Ayat. I thought that's what he said. Maybe I'll understand it better. Shuhu, maybe I'll remember it better. Shuhu Tikkun Acher Gomor, it's like another Tikkun, a different Tikkun. V'shuv la'achar mekan choizer devayer as the zivug devia rishona. Then he goes back and talks about the zivug of the devia rishona. B'toch kadei dibor, even just write the next words. So our point says so. Choizer devayer as atikun hasheni deklicha yisod. So he goes back to explain this. V'alkein af shemeshmalos rehitas devarov. So now, from what we hear out of this, out of the continuation of these words, mashba shehem tikkun echad, that really it's really one tikkun with 2 parts to it. So we're really trying to find in the footsteps of the rabbis who explain this. Should be that actually 2 tikkunim here. Now, so let's go back and let's see where I'm at. Where is Yud Dalet? Yud Dalet is way back there. So Yud Dalet had said, well, we quoted here, Hazivug hana'ase b'layla, the zivug that takes place at nighttime, Gorem Tikkun Bukanenis Klicha Yisod the Nukfa. That Yichud causes this. Now, what does he mean by that? Da Deksiva Rishad, the cause of a Rishash. Let's see if I can understand what the Rishash says. So he says, he gives his face Osya Hey and Vava. The Hanasira Hanaasas Bedachilas Alayla. Bechain Zibuk the Bia Rishona Hanaasa Bechatzis Alayla. So these 2 phrases, that the Nasira that takes place at the beginning of the night. So I'm not sure that I really know this. V'chein the zivug, the bia rishon, and then also the yichud of the first zech on the asa bechatzis alayla. Calls out armor parts of kad shaos akolo. So this is all again talking about the concept of the kad shaos of the 24 hours, which is part of one day, or the whole of one day, and part of another, I think. But I'm really looking for more information on this. Avach partzufi Yaakov v'Rachel apratim. Hanisakim becalled tefillah v'tefillah, but there's an aspect of them we saw previously that a part of them is mesukin in every single tefillah. You had the beginning tefillah of Shachris, is you have the tikkun the penimios, and then in Mencha is the middle area, is middle kli, and the last one is chitzonis, is the outer the kli. So when you get to the teva ava, in the Shmona Esrei, that's when the Nesira takes place, the Birchus Avos, that you see that over there. Then after that takes place, then you have the Tikkun, the formation, I guess, of this Gevura. And so first you have a Nesira, and then that all is coming about. Let's see, Amnam. Yesh Shalamada Malchus Zeranaasa Ke'ez Gam Dormita Venesira. The zivuga debia rishona beparts of Yaakov of Alea hapratim the kli hapanim b'diyom etmol. Now we have to go over this because I really it seems like a stumbling block for me to try to pick up pieces of what goes on in this yichud of Kav Shaus. So let's read again. Amnam yesh lamadno. So that we learned over here. Shemilvad zeh. Besides this, that is an asira that takes place in the word of Naaseh, of Ba'ava, Ba'ava. Shemavaza Naasim ke'ez gam dormita v'nesira. So, but also you have something else happen. At this moment, you also have a nesira, a dormita, where Zeranpin goes to sleep, and then Bina comes in and builds up Malchus, and she becomes independent, v'nesira, v'zivug debia rishona, and then after that comes about a zivug of the Bia Rishona, which is the zivug of Kli Urucha, the Partsufi Yaakov V'Leah, but it's taking place in the Partsufim of Yaakov V'Leah, which we said before takes place not in the daytime. it takes place in at nighttime. So he said, "V'rapratim the kli penimi diyom etmol," because now what's happening is that you're making a tikkun has to take place at this time, in the nighttime, of a tikkun for the kli penimium that has to do with yesterday. Okay, because yesterday at nighttime we switched from today to yesterday, but apparently in some way there's a leftover part of the tikkun of the penimius of the kli the penimius of the kli that has to be masukin on the next night. That's what it sounds like to me. So I'm just investigating this because it's a big topic, I think. The kli penimi de yom etmol, or that took place yesterday. So then he says, number 10, v'tikkun v'konenes kli yisod the nukva. So he says, of the Myri Khan Rabbeinu be'inyan tikkun the Nisinus Arucha B'Biyah Rishon, of the giving of the Ruach with the first Yichud. V'im Kain, if that's the case, Madua Korah L'Zecha B'Shem Tikkun Kli Yisod. Why is it called by the name, this name of Tikkun Kli Yisod? What's happening over here is it talks about the Biyah Rishona. Hello, Tikkun Kli Yisod Denuk, who tikkun acher is a different tikkun. It's something else which comes about through the five kevuros. Bifnei atzma hana'azah yedayim the lukamon, that ima actually goes on, and we're going to talk about the yedayim of even more. Achein metzina the Rav. So therefore, we're finding over here by the Rav, shakora gam lebechidas harucha b'shem kli, because he calls the rucha of a shem also to be a kli. Now the rucha comes from Zer Anpen. Kaven, so why should the rucha be a kli? Kaven harucha hu kli lahaman amislavish bo. So it's a very interesting idea. He says shakora gam lebechidas harucha b'shem kli. Why should it be a kli? So it comes out like this: that Zer Anpen is a vav. The vav connects two hays. So it's actually a pipe. So let's say a metaphoric pipe. And it means that the light that is coming from up above goes through from the top to the bottom. But there's also a different kind of light, which is called the female's light. That's the light of need, which is going from the bottom to the top. And in that case, Zer Anpin is also a kli. That's where I could understand it. But Kem Shacharucha hu kli. So now we see, was it kli for? It's kli for the man. That man means Mayim Nukvin, which is going from the bottom, from Malchus up to him. Hamislav Shimbo, which wind up being Miluvish inside a Zer Anpen. And you've been listening to Baruch Fleischman here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel.